Hello, everyone. This is Darice at Moonlight Astro. Welcome back to the channel. And if you're new, welcome. Today, I want to talk to you about the upcoming Saturn Jupiter Square, which is happening tomorrow, December 24th. Um, this is the channel where we blend astrology with practical tools to help you navigate life with clarity and ease. And want to just dive right into managing the holiday stress. Since we do have a Saturn Jupiter square coming on Christmas Eve, we spoke about it briefly last week. Want to get into it a little bit more today. Saturn and Jupiter will be forming a tense square in the sky. This is an aspect that can often highlight the friction between expansion and contraction. Saturn is all about structure, discipline. It's the timekeeper, the task master, and the keeper of boundaries. Jupiter is all about growth, optimism, big picture thinking. And when these two clash, it does create a push pull dynamic. Then you add to this the usual family expectations around the holidays, last minute gift wrapping, gift shopping for some people, all that festive chaos. Well, it can just definitely amp up the stress. And it is also a powerful opportunity for reflection, communication, and growth. So now one of the things that a Jupiter Saturn square can highlight is conflicting priorities. Um, it's going to also intensify a lot of old family dynamics. And it can also highlight the financial stress that is present at this time of year. Often people overspend to fulfill all these unsaid expectations and obligations. We want to keep up with family traditions, but given the recent changes in the economy, that's more difficult for people. Things are just more expensive than they were before. We're still recovering from some of the supply chain issues post pandemic. Some industries have never fully recovered, and it's made other things that have fallen into their place more expensive. And there's just a lot of stress in the air. And so, first of all, it's okay to just simply acknowledge that. Sometimes we have these things running in the background and we don't give ourselves permission to just acknowledge how stressful it actually is, all of the changes. And often I've noticed in my own experience that just recognizing that, just acknowledging it, even just to myself, helps me relax and calm down since I don't put the burden on myself, because a lot of these things are out of our control, and you're not responsible for how stressful and difficult all of it is. And so, maybe you just needed to hear that today, just to remind yourself that you are doing the best you can with where you are and with what you have. And if you had to, make different changes, if you had to make gifts or downsize what you would normally do around this time of year, accept that. Forgive yourself for being in that position. There's nothing wrong with that. And you know, we're living in unprecedented times. And I'm recording this ahead of time, so I have no idea what's happening on the world stage or collectively, during this week. And if there have been things that have made the world more stressful and scary, just acknowledge that to yourself as well. Give yourself permission to feel those feelings. I feel like this is a week where we really need to just be present with where we are and what's happening in the moment. I also do want to offer you some tools to handle the actual stress itself. Maybe just even like a simple deep breathing exercise. Saturn's energy can be very heavy, and Jupiter can sometimes lead to overwhelm. So this square could intensify that. So I'm just gonna suggest, you give yourself a simple breath exercise. So you inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4, exhale slowly for 8. And we can actually go ahead and do this together right now just to give you a sense of it. So if you feel comfortable, if you're in a place where you can close your eyes and you're not driving, if you want to pause the video and then pull over and park and do this real quick, that's fine as well. So we're just going to inhale deeply for 4. So take a deep breath, inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And if you need to pause, do that a couple more times on your own. That's fine. But this is a simple breath that you can do, during the holiday week as you get stressed. Do this whenever you need, when you feel the tension rising. So again, it's just a simple inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 8. And I'll put that in the comments as well for you. Again, I'm also going to remind you that, family stress can peak during this time. So some of the nonviolent communication techniques to observe or to use is, observe without judgment. Instead of saying something along the lines of, you're always late, you know, uh, maybe you could say something along the lines of, I noticed we started dinner an hour later than planned. Or maybe that's not your style. You can just express your feelings. I feel stressed when schedules change unexpectedly. Identify your needs. Saturn loves clear boundaries, so state them. I need more clarity around timing. You can also just make a request. Jupiter encourages collaboration. Could we confirm tomorrow's plan by 1? Just some ideas. And again, I'll put those in the comments as well for people. Another reminder that's be really helpful, set realistic expectations for yourself and for others, And like I said in my last video, focus on what's essential. Jupiter reminds us to find joy in the process. Don't overextend yourself by trying to create the perfect Christmas. Instead of prioritize the meaningful moments over perfection. Simplify where you can and give yourself permission to say no when needed. And just some other additional reflections for you. You can always just check in with yourself as you're running errands. When you find yourself really anxious or overwrought, just take a moment, pause, ask yourself, am I overextending myself here? Do I need stronger boundaries? How can I cultivate more connection, more meaningful relationships, sustainable joy in my relationships? The holidays are not just about giving to others, they're also about giving to yourself, honoring your needs and your values. And with that, I just wanted to say thank you again for tuning in. Again, the Saturn Jupiter square can be intense, but ultimately it is an invitation to grow, to be more of yourself. I think that's what astrology is always ultimately pushing us towards, to become more of our true, authentic selves. And with that, I'm going to say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, wishing you love, joy, and peace. Easefully yours, Darice.